In the gaming world, some weapons stand out above the rest, as they simply decimate the competition and strike fear into the hearts of opponents. These overpowered weapons, from legendary swords to straight-up room-clearing firearms, have become iconic in the gaming community. Join us as we explore some of gaming's most overpowered weapons and uncover their ultimate power. Kicking off the list is Euclid's C-Finder from the Fallout series. It's possible that many players may have overlooked a seemingly humble gadget while playing the game. When it's first shown to the player, it is described as a simple toy, and as such, it may not seem all that important.
Reach for the sky, mister. This is the best gun in the whole galaxy. I paid 1,000,000 caps for it, and it wasn't even brand new. Oh man, it's Stacy's fault. She pretends like she didn't get hit. That's still a lot of money. I guess I'll...
However, if you complete a specific quest and acquire this toy-like weapon, you'll gain access to a powerful laser targeting system that's linked to a satellite-mounted orbital laser weapon called Archimedes 2. Essentially, you become a walking laser pointer of doom that rains down a devastating laser beam from orbit at the pull of the trigger. There's nothing quite like wiping out an enemy with a space laser. It's the ultimate I win button. Granted, the weapon can only be fired once every 24 in-game hours, but it's still a force to be reckoned with. In the claustrophobic corridors of Dead Space, Isaac Clarke, our engineering protagonist, doesn't carry a traditional arsenal. Instead, he wields the plasma cutter, a multi-purpose tool designed for mining. However, in the face of the necromorph horde, it becomes Isaac's only defense, and a surprisingly effective weapon. The plasma cutter fires a focused beam of superheated plasma in 3 narrow strips, creating a powerful tool for strategic dismemberment, as necromorphs aren't easily put down with a single shot. This tool is so ingrained in Dead Space's identity that there's even an achievement for completing the entire game using only this weapon. This testifies to the plasma cutter's versatility and deadly potential in the right hands, or should I say, the right engineering suit. Taking a step back from close-quarters combat, we can dive into the art of long-range sniping with the Farsight XR-20. The Farsight XR-20 isn't your typical long-range weapon. This beauty boasts a revolutionary targeting system that lets you see heat signatures through walls and obstacles. Imagine identifying and eliminating hidden enemies before they know you're there. The Farsight XR-20 doesn't stop at wall hacking. Here's the real kicker. Its bullets can also pierce through walls and objects in the environment. Line up a shot where your target is obscured behind cover? No problem. The Farsight XR-20 lets you rain destruction through walls, making strategically placed enemies vulnerable from unexpected angles. However, if pinpoint precision and stealth are not your approach, then let's take a massive leap from surgical strikes to ground-scorching radiant with the weapon that embodies the glorious chaos of the Fallout series. The Fat Man is a mini-nuke launcher, a pre-war destruction relic repurposed for the wasteland's harsh realities. This isn't your everyday firearm, even though it's based on a real-life weapon named the Davy Crockett. Firing a Fat Man feels exactly like carrying a walking nuclear bomb launcher on your shoulder. One well-placed shot can obliterate entire enemy outposts, leaving behind a smoldering crater and a satisfying sense of apocalyptic power. It's the ultimate problem solver for those moments when subtlety just won't cut it. On the topic of total nuclear annihilation, players in a different game also have access to a weapon that effectively clears out the entire map. The Armageddon, introduced in Worms Armageddon, perhaps not so subtly named after the weapon itself, reigns supreme as the king of chaotic devastation, at least in the miniature world of Worms. Armageddon is a superweapon that literally reshapes the battlefield. When activated, a barrage of meteors rains down from the sky, transforming the once lush landscape into a collection of tiny islands. Imagine your opponents blissfully lobbing grenades at each other one moment, only to find themselves clinging desperately to a fragile piece of earth the next. Talk about a strategic shift. Surely you might say, there's no weapon more grand than the one that creates a barrage of meteors that covers the entire map. That's where the Halo Array comes in, a galactic superweapon that transcends mere battlefields.
It was called Halo, an array of weapons scattered throughout the galaxy. Its effect would spread throughout known space, destroying the Flood and every thinking creature in the galaxy.
The Halo Array isn't a single weapon, it's a network of colossal ring-shaped installations built by the ancient Forerunner species. While they appear as artificial planets at first glance, their true purpose is far more sinister: the systematic eradication of the Flood. A parasitic force that consumes all sentient life. The Halo Array's existence sparks endless debate among fans. While it effectively contains the Flood, it comes at the cost of wiping out entire civilizations with untold potential. Is it a necessary evil or a horrifying act of galactic genocide? Whole civilizations are wiped out with the push of a button, a stark reminder of the responsibility that comes with such godlike control. But what if a weapon's power lies not in destruction, but in creative problem-solving? Before I get demonetized, let's step away from galactic genocide and explore a more light-hearted weapon of choice, the portal gun from the game Portal, a weapon that revolutionized how we approach challenges. The portal gun in Portal might seem like an innocent, puzzle-solving tool. Sure, it lets you manipulate space by creating portals, but how much real combat potential could it possibly have? Well, buckle up, because the portal gun becomes a surprisingly overpowered weapon in the wrong hands, or the right, depending on your perspective. Imagine you're at an impasse with a disgruntled opponent forcing you to do something. But suddenly you disappear into a mysterious vortex, only to reappear behind them. That's the power of the portal gun in a combat scenario. By strategically placing portals, you can outsmart your enemies with impossible teleportation, flanking them with ease and leaving them open to devastating attacks. The portal gun's deadliness goes beyond surprise attacks. Imagine opening a portal under your enemy's feet and dropping them into an infinite loop. The environmental manipulation possibilities are endless. The portal gun becomes a tactical chameleon, adapting to any combat situation. But what if your ultimate weapon wasn't a nuke launcher, a high-tech rifle, or a last resort doomsday device? What if it was a fluffy pink unicorn with a secret? Yes, you read that right. Red Faction Armageddon throws a hilarious curveball with Mr. Toots, a weapon that's as powerful as it is bizarre. This unassuming plushy unicorn boasts a hidden talent firing devastating rainbow lasers from its rear end. Don't let the cuddly exterior fool you. Mr. Toots packs a serious punch, disintegrating enemies with its vibrant beams. Enemies unfortunate enough to be caught in Mr. Toots' wrath don't simply die. They explode in a shower of rainbows and butterflies. It's a strangely beautiful and slightly disturbing death animation that adds to the weapon's overall absurdity. If you're not after the absurdity of farting unicorns, then the rocket launcher Gjallarhorn from Destiny 1 might be something you're after. However, the Gjallarhorn wasn't just a rocket launcher, it was a legend. This weapon fired a singular projectile that split into multiple Wolfpack rounds upon impact, seeking out nearby enemies and inflicting devastating damage. Imagine a single shot turning into a heat-seeking missile swarm. That's the Gjallarhorn's power in a nutshell. The Gjallarhorn's impact went beyond its destructive capabilities. It also became a status symbol, a sign that you'd conquered challenging content and earned the right to wield this powerhouse, or bought it from Shure. Many high-level activities in Destiny 1 practically required the Gjallarhorn, leading to the phrase Gjallarhorn wreck in online communities, meaning that if a player joined without a weapon, they would be kicked out. Among other status symbols is the iconic and legendary Crissaegrim, also known as Valmanwë from Castlevania, Symphony of the Night and its successors. And this weapon isn't about raw earth-shattering power, it's about unleashing a whirlwind of destruction that leaves enemies breathless, and probably limbless. Unlike most swords, the Crissaegrim allows Alucard to attack while moving. Imagine a constant flurry of slashes, a whirlwind of steel that tears through enemies with incredible speed. This mobility makes the Crissaegrim a dream for aggressive players who favor a relentless offensive onslaught. The Crissaegrim's power also comes from its unique attack animation, as the rapid strikes create the illusion of multiple blades hitting the enemy simultaneously. While it doesn't deal the absolute highest damage per hit, the sheer number of attacks within a single combo makes it incredibly effective at racking up damage quickly. On the topic of racking up damage quickly, we have the Rivers of Blood Katana from Elden Ring. The Rivers of Blood isn't just another sharp piece of metal. This katana is imbued with a cursed power that unleashes a flurry of blood-red attacks, inflicting physical damage and a debilitating blood loss effect. Imagine weaving through enemies, leaving a trail of crimson rain in your wake, as their health steadily drains with each cut. The Rivers of Blood's true power lies in its unique weapon skill, the Corpse Piler. This isn't a single powerful strike, it's a devastating combo that embodies the weapon's essence. The user unleashes a flurry of rapid slashes, each one imbued with the blade's cursed power. Enemies caught in this dance of death are left staggering and bleeding, easy prey for a final brutal blow. If you're more of a fan of dealing a single blow to end your enemies, then the Golden Gun from GoldenEye 007 might be more up your sleeve, a weapon that embodies luxury and lethality. The Golden Gun isn't about a hail of bullets or earth-shattering explosions. It's about precision, a single golden bullet that guarantees elimination. Imagine being James Bond facing down a villain and knowing that one well-placed shot could settle the entire affair. The Golden Gun is for the sophisticated, a deadly tool fit for a secret agent of the highest caliber. Missing your target means scrambling to find cover and reload, a moment of vulnerability that could cost you dearly. The Golden Gun forces players to be strategic, carefully plan their approach and ensure that their one shot is a kill shot. While we are on the topic of single-shot, devastating weapons, it goes without saying that the BFG 9000 had to be on this list. The BFG 9000 is the embodiment of excessive firepower. It's a weapon that doesn't mess around with fancy golden bullets. It throws entire green globs of plasma that explode with devastating force, leaving behind a crater and a satisfied Doomslayer.
The bot is set to self-destruct. We should move ahead.
Picture yourself facing down hordes of demonic creatures, then unleashing the BFG 9000 and watching the carnage unfold. That's the power fantasy the BFG delivers. The BFG 9000 isn't about precision, it's about obliteration. A single blast can clear entire rooms of enemies, leaving behind a smoldering wasteland. It's a weapon built for those who revel in the chaos of battle and want to experience the sheer thrill of overwhelming their enemies with raw power. I feel like the gaming world without the BFG 9000 would have been such a bore. Bore? You heard me right, as the Cerebral Bore from Turok is the next weapon on our list. Imagine a weapon that looks like a giant handheld corkscrew. Now imagine shoving it into the head of a screaming velociraptor. That, my friends, is the Cerebral Bore in all its ridiculous glory. This weapon doesn't just kill enemies, it literally drills into their brains, a method of termination that's both strangely effective and undeniably comical. The Cerebral Bore isn't for everyone or everything on the prehistoric menu. It only works on enemies with, well, brains, so while it might turn a velociraptor into a drooling mess, it won't do much good against politicians. This quirk adds to the weapon's charm, making it a specialist tool for specific situations. Talking of specialist tools, the zero-point energy field manipulator, commonly known as the gravity gun, was also meant to be used primarily for heavy lifting.
It's designed for handling hazardous materials, but we mainly use it for heavy lifting. Give it a try.
If we're counting heavy lifting as carrying our protagonist Gordon Freeman through the events of Half-Life. The gravity gun isn't your typical firearm. It doesn't fire bullets or unleash energy blasts. Instead, it utilizes a mysterious energy field to precisely manipulate objects. Imagine lifting a car, flinging a hapless combined soldier through the air, or solving environmental puzzles, all with the flick of your wrist or a trigger pull, to be more precise. The gravity gun unlocks a world of possibilities, transforming the environment into your weapon. It evolves from a simple lifting device to a weapon of surprising versatility. Need to clear a path? Yank a heavy object and smash it through a barricade. Are you out of ammo but facing an enemy? Shoot a saw blade at them at a lightning-fast speed. The gravity gun rewards creativity and improvisation, turning problem-solving into a lethal flying hazard playground. And who can forget the Ravenholm level, which to this day gives me nightmares. So, there you have it, a glimpse into some of gaming's most overpowered weapons. These armaments range from the elegant precision of the Golden Gun to the gloriously messy mayhem of the BFG 9000. They've shaped our in-game experiences, leaving unforgettable memories of domination and destruction. But remember, a weapon's true power lies not just in its destructive capabilities, but also in the way it allows us to interact with the game world. Whether it's the strategic manipulation of the gravity gun or the physics-bending chaos of the portal gun, these overpowered tools offer a unique kind of agency, letting us bend the rules of the game and rewrite our definition of victory. What are your favorite overpowered weapons? What makes them so unique? Let us know in the comments below, and until next time, happy gaming!